Good morning. Welcome back to Return to Self with myself, Tanya Ray Bethune. Today I'm coming to you with episode 32 of Returning to Self. And today I just want to encourage you about stop waiting to be chosen. Stop waiting to be chosen. Because one of the greatest journeys we will ever take is the journey back to ourselves, not the version of ourselves that was shaped by other people's expectations, not the version of ourselves that learned to perform for acceptance, not the version of ourselves that spent years trying to prove our worth, but the person God created us to be from the very beginning. Along the way, many of us lost sight of who we are. We become so focused on being what others need us to be, giving to others, showing up for others, and carrying the weight of other people's expectations that we slowly drift away from ourselves. Then one day we wake up and realize we know everyone else's needs, but we've forgotten our own. We know who everyone else wants us to be, but we are no longer sure who God created us to be. And that is where the journey back begins. It begins with remembering that your life is valuable, your voice matters, your presence has purpose, and your work was never dependent on another person's approval. And perhaps part of your journey back to yourself is realizing that you do not have to spend the rest of your life waiting to be chosen by people who have consistently failed to choose you. Instead, you can choose the life that is in front of you. You can choose healing, peace, growth, and purpose. You can choose to embrace the person God created you to be. Because the truth is, every moment spent waiting for someone else to recognize your value is a moment that can be spent walking in the value God has already given you. Your work was established by God before anyone ever had an opinion about you, before anyone affirmed you, before anyone rejected you, before anyone celebrated you, before anyone overlooked you. God had already determined that you were worthy. The journey back to yourself is not about becoming someone new. It is about returning to the person God always knew you were. And sometimes that journey begins the moment you stop waiting to be chosen and finally choose yourself. As you continue your journey back to yourself, I want you to remember this. You do not have to earn the worth that God has already given you. You do not have to spend your life chasing validation from people when God has already called you valuable. Choose to embrace the life that is in front of you. Choose to embrace the person God created you to be. Choose to believe what God says about you over every lie, over every label, and over every limitation. The journey may not always be easy, but it is definitely worth it. And every step you take toward becoming who God created you to be is a step worth taking. And until next time, keep walking, keep growing, keep healing, and keep returning to the person God created you to be. Have a blessed day.